we will be having a normal conversation with a man.
100% normal.
And it does not matter. We could be talking about toe cheese. And they're somehow going to turn it into a sexual thing. And I don't get it.
In case you're curious. Why?
I don't know. I just feel like toe cheese was like the worst of the worst thing.
I'm not curious. I don't want to know.
Like, what you know about toe cheese, girl?
Tell me about it.
Nothing. I know that I don't want to know. Like,
I don't want to know what's going on with your toes.
But it is. That's like the perfect example. It could be like the most random topic that you're just having a normal conversation about, and they're somehow going to turn it sexual, and it's like, no. Y'all,
Welcome to Kitty Whispers.
episode
17
of season 3.
Yep. So, and it's November.
Yeah, it is.
And
October spooky season just flew past us.
gone.
Like a witch in the night.
It did go like a witch in the night.
I know, and usually I enjoy Halloween a little more.
But would you say, yeah?
What? But would I say what?
Would you say it was as quick as Saint?
I kind of feel like it was up there. It was as quick as Saint Nick.
You would think it was as quick as Saint Nick? Don't you say first. I was going to say it. I just stuttered. You're like, yeah, but you lost
I mean, I stuttered on 17, so that's where we're at today.
You did.
It's a late recording.
It is.
And it's getting dark super early now.
It feels like it's 9 o'clock.
I know.
And it is
Not even 6.
5:26 Central Time.
Central Time.
Central Standard Time. We also had daylight savings happen this weekend.
We did. I enjoyed the extra hour.
I'm not a fan. I'm annoyed that it got voted out of House. I want it to be permanently the same time.
Yeah. Arizona does that.
Yeah. Other places.
Yeah, there's other states that don't do the time change.
Yeah.
And I think it does kind of make it feel more like the holidays, though. You know? Because it happens like right before Thanksgiving. So it just feels like
It's seasonal
cozy
depression.
It truly is.
That's what it feels
Seasonal depression. But no,
Seasonal depression.
It kind of feels like, oh, it's cozy season again. I can get on my sweaters.
I'm
My sweaters.
not interested in being cozy.
I know. So the other day.
Do you want to come over and be cozy?
Yeah,
We can have a fire.
absolutely. That's like one of my favorite things.
Okay. I like it again.
Well, the other day, I do social media marketing for a living. And I have this amazing team that I work with. Well, one of our girls was like doing a post for fall. Mm-hmm. And in the post, she has a picture of all three of us. And then in each one is like a bubble saying what we enjoy. And Kelsey's was like Gilmore Girls and coffee. Casey's was like bonfires and s'mores. And then you get to me and it was sweaters and football. And I'm like, when did I become the football person?
Oh, God.
I mean, I like watching the football players, but I don't know about the actual game. I guess all right, I'll be the football girly of the group.
Yeah. I like sports. I mean, it's also hockey season. I kind of get into hockey season.
I know.
I like it.
I mean, I like sports. I do. I really do like sports. I think I like it more when I have someone I'm watching play on the team.
Right.
But which was why we should get into hockey. I want my next one to be a hockey player.
I like hockey.
If we're going to stick with athletes, we may go to like different genres, right?
Girl, so I went to a Dallas Stars game.
Yeah, I'm
what was it,
really
2?
jealous I couldn't go.
She was going to be my backup date, and I told her that going in. She knew it. If my kid...
But I also knew I was guaranteed in. Because I didn't think this one's plans were going to change.
We had competition day. and it thankfully, for the family's sake,
I didn't want it to be the family.
it worked out for us to have a family game, and that was real special. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, we should absolutely.
Now that we've gotten the family game out of the way,
listen, there are certain check marks. Like if I'm going to go do a concert or something or fun, like it's a check and balance. You know, they get to do a lot. There are times that mom gets, like, I got the good shoes. You know, I got the cool Jordans, but they got all of everything else, and they were taken care of first.
Strong believer in treat yourself. That's a good thing we talked about today.
Yeah,
at this fall brunch we went to.
Oh, tell me.
And it was specifically about us as females and moms. We're constantly putting everybody else's needs above our own, and they're like, that's why us as women just are burnt out constantly. Yeah. Like we're constantly doing things for everyone around us, and our needs get put on the back burner.
Right.
And they said we've got to stop making a habit of that.
Yeah.
Like we deserve just as much self-care as everyone else around us.
Right.
And I mean, I like that you're doing the checks and balances, but I think you could be doing it a little more for yourself.
No, I do it enough. I mean, let me tell you, like,
I don't think you do. Not for yourself.
But I also go to the chiropractor. I go to a personal trainer.
Like
no, I
stuff.
get, like, I know, but I'm saying, like, as far
you
as my budget,
those.
I get my nails done. I get a pedicure. Like, there are certain things that I reserve for mom's budget, and the way that, and I absolutely had to learn this. It was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to learn in my entire life.
There's a lot of guilt behind it.
Oh, plenty. And let me tell you the reason why. Because women, we love so much that we make sure that I like to think about it like pie, or sometimes it's dinner. And as a single mom, it's absolutely been dinner. There's only so many groceries. There's only so much things that are left within the home. And you don't get paid for 2 days. But you know what? Bills are paid. Gas is in the car. You just got to sit tight.
Yeah.
When you're making your children's plates, I think that it is a very natural and womanly, instinctual thing that we make sure their plates are served before we make sure ours is. And if they're good, then we're good. And so I did live.
But it's not even about your children either.
No, absolutely.
It's
anything or anyone. Yeah. But I had to learn that for myself, because forever I did. And then it was like you said, I deserve to eat too. I deserve to have, like, go through that. But it really kind of has moved into a place where I make sure that I reserve those things for myself, and I hold on to them, because I've worked so hard to make sure I get a fair piece. Yeah. And it teaches and shows the girls, you know, the value of working and balancing and taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself. And so, you know, women absolutely
eliminates, like, the burnout and frustration, because you can't help but resent the people around you if they're not pulling the same weight or doing the same thing.
Well, especially if they're like a fully capable person,
like
adult.
a girl, like a man. Yeah. And that's what they were saying. And one of the ladies was like, I'm not trying to bash men by any means. Like, I love men. But she was like, sometimes whenever I go to say, oh, my children, I also want to include, and the grown man I also take care of. Like, I take care of my children. Oh, and this grown ass man.
Right.
Like, in my household.
Well, and I think that's where having a man,
it's a choice.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of women are choosing not to.
I know. And that's why, but I mean, I am, because back in the day, it wasn't a choice. It was a requirement. Like, you had to have a man,
right,
in order to do X, Y, and Z.
Women couldn't even have a credit card until the 70s.
Yeah, we don't have to do that anymore. I mean, unless states and things keep taking our rights away. But I don't know. Just food for thought. Do more for yourselves, ladies.
Yeah, make sure you prioritize yourself. There's nothing wrong with self-care. Is not selfish, really.
No,
and so we have to make sure that we remind ourselves that, because, and for me, it was like, if I realized what was happening when I was not taking care of myself, that they do see that and they do notice that.
Because if you go down, the ship's going down.
Right. I'm captain. So
you're captain. So if the ship's going down,
and we got to make sure that we're good too. Speaking of, we were sick last week. We had a very Halloween, so we didn't do much. What did you do?
So I've moved back to my hometown, which I kind of love. I initially moved there and I'm like, oh, this is temporary. Like, I will be back. Don't worry. When the time is right, I'll be back. But now that I'm there, and like my hometown has gotten so cute, like it's become like this place people want to like go to get away from the city, with like the downtown, the restaurants, like the boutiques and everything. Like, it's gotten so cute. And so I'm like, I kind of love this slower pace of life. Like, it takes me 2 minutes to get places.
That's awesome.
And all my closest high school friends still live there with their families. And so it's just nice to have people, which I always have people that care about me around me because I make sure of that. But like, just to be with your like, whenever you're around those childhood friends, it's like, these are my people that you can just trust to your core.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they know me since I was a child. So it's like, it almost makes you revert back to that, like,
that's,
fun side of yourself.
I do want to say, I've noticed you seem like you again to me.
Yeah.
Like, everything about your energy and the way that just you feel and just you seem happier and
yes, and that's wild.
I think it was such a good move for you.
Thank you. I'm finally starting to see, and I think it's just because I've been doing things that I'm not used to. Like, I got invited to a mahjong party the other day, and I'm like, what the fuck's mahjong? But it was so fun. I'm like, this is like an old lady game, and I'm totally okay with playing it.
I think I can't wait to come.
I know. I can't. I wanted Lauren. I'm like, you've got to come. And then my best friend Kristen, her and I have been friends since we were like little bitty, like 4. Our dads were best friends. Our grandmothers were friends. Like, it just goes back generationally. And she was entered the stew contest recently. It's generational friendship.
I'm all like, oh, okay, all right.
I know, it just keeps going.
Damn,
You're like, shit.
All right.
I'll start back in the broken bow. No, but she entered the stew. We have a stew cook-off in my hometown every year. It is, I lost my virginity on stew cook-off night when I was like 16 or 17. And
didn't you?
I
love it.
It was on a picnic table.
No, I was gonna say you didn't.
What?
Didn't you see that person at the stew?
Oh no, that's not the one I saw.
Oh.
I did not see the one I lost my virginity to a very long time ago. Oh my God, how long was that?
Don't worry about
Almost 20 years
Don't
ago.
count. Don't count.
I did not see that person. I saw my high school sweetheart. I did not lose my virginity. I should have lost my virginity to this guy. That didn't happen. High school sweetheart into college. So we dated from like the time we were like 17 probably to 20. And this person, Lauren, was so special to me. Like,
I know.
Like, I think if we would have, and it's because him and I were friends since we were like 5, and we'd grown up together, and it just got to a point where I was like, we literally love each other. Why are we not together? He'd always escorted me for things, so we finally just got together. But we got Tucker together. So to me,
his wife loved meeting you.
Oh, and that's the thing. She knows who I am because we broke up in college. Him and I got Tucker together. So even after we broke up, he would come and pick Tucker up. And I'm like, you literally want to carry this tiny, very feminine dog around. Now I know why. But I did used to tell him, if I find out a female touched my dog, I will cut you. So don't let it happen. Tucker was off limits. Anyways, but ran into him at the stew contest. And his wife is very nice. And my thing is, he was always so much more active than me. Like I'm active. But when I say active, I mean like this guy is an adrenaline junkie. Like, he can't get enough. Any kind of guns, he wants to go just shoot on, but he wants like the big, like he would shoot off a bazooka if he had the opportunity. Skydiving. He was also on the track team at college. So he would wake up and run 10 miles in the morning. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's just not it. And I always knew. I'm like, you're so active.
What's his sign?
It's just his birthday is December
Sagittarius.
December 8th.
Yeah, Sagittarius. That makes sense.
That's it. I mean, he's very intelligent and
witty,
reserved.
Yeah.
But the people that know
Sagittarius myself.
You would actually really love him. I still love him. I adore him. I saw his parents. This is funny. His dad comes up and hugs me and he's like, my favorite redhead. And I'm like, should your daughter-in-law around here somewhere? Like, should you say that?
Does she have red hair?
No, she's like a Filipino mix.
Oh, okay. I bet
she's very pretty.
Yeah.
But she's kind of an adrenaline junkie too. Like she got him into snowboarding. Like
cool.
She's much more his vibe. So we ran into him and my friend Kristen's standing next to me. She's very tall. She's taller than you, Lauren.
Wow.
And we're just sitting there chit-chatting and I'm trying to make this a quick exchange. Like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Let's go. And Miss Priss over here, I think she just starts asking I'm over here looking up at her like,
story.
Can you stop? You know? Yeah. She's like, what have y'all been doing? Oh my God, it's good to see you. Where are you guys living at? You know, they don't have kids yet. Oh. So as we're sitting there, my ex, you know, he had given me a hug. We're just, you know, he reaches over, pats his wife on the belly and goes, we're expecting a baby. And I was just like, oh, wow. Like, I think I got choked up immediately. And I was not expecting to have this kind of emotion. And I think it's because I so badly want that. And I just remember him and I having those conversations. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
We were very young. We were babies, but we had names picked out. Like he was my person.
Yeah.
I was going to marry him. Like
I felt that way when I found out my ex was having a kid. The one that I really cared about.
But it was just like, I always wanted those things with him. And I would consider him my first real love. Yeah. He wasn't the first person I lost my virginity to, but I loved him.
You lost him more than once?
Or he wasn't the person I mean, yeah, at this point. After 6 months, you're a born again virgin. Anyway, so pats her on the belly. He's like, oh, we're having a baby. And I was like, oh. And I was like, I don't know why I was immediately like, well, how far along are you? And she said, we're 18 months. And I was like, oh, so y'all, why do I keep saying that? It's 18. We're 18 weeks.
She did that to me also.
I did.
And then I was like, was she
that.
an elephant? And then it took her a second. She was like, what?
Wait, what? 18. She's like, we're 18 weeks. And I was like, oh, so y'all like know what you're having. And he's like, yeah, it's a girl. He said it like, it's a girl. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. And he was like, well, we're one and done. And I was like, oh, okay. Why? Because what's funny is his brother said the same thing and then they had a second. And I'm like, okay, like you're one and done. Okay. And he's like, well, yeah, I think this is where he got the nervous talking started. Well, yeah, I just don't want to be an old dad. And I'm literally sitting there unwed, not a mother. And I'm like, oh, you don't say. Because we're this exact same age. Like, so are you saying I'm going to be an old? He was like, well, no, it's just different for guys. And I was like, huh. His wife is like a very certified nurse. So she was like even she was like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're literally saying it's different for guys. My internal clock is running low. Like, knock it the fuck off. Then at that point, Kristen could tell I was like, wrap it up.
Time to go.
It is time to go.
Round it up.
So they finally leave. And I was just like, I looked at Kristen. I was like, that could not have fucking ended fast enough. And she's like, oh no, I'm so sorry. I was really trying to. And I was like, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. But then, I had to walk away. I got a little emotional because I was just like, ugh. I think it's just
I know that you're wanting to have a baby and the way that he's standing there and talking about like one and done and patting on her belly and
which they did it right. They've been married a while, so I like that they waited and have traveled and done all the things. So I'm happy. I'm so happy.
Oh, I know you are. I'm just saying he was just blindly like not even realizing.
It's just when you have those boyfriends.
He was like, look, I made this and her belly.
Yeah. And I really think it was because he just like,
Yeah, weird for him.
he
Probably.
just, yeah. Like
the fact that he,
to your ex-girlfriend that your wife knows is your ex-girlfriend that you were very in love with.
and you like grew up with.
Yeah. Like
And
she's very aware of who I am.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think she was realizing like, are you fucking like
Yeah.
just word vomiting right now?
That's what I meant earlier whenever I said, I bet she loved meeting you. It wasn't even, I mean, you're beautiful and all that. I'm just talking about out of pure principle that this is like the XX. If there was ever.
This is the ex.
Yeah. If there was ever a.
Yeah.
The
if you're
one.
ever meeting
Yeah.
an ex-girlfriend, like this is
Yeah. That's intense.
the other one. Yeah.
She's known, and his dad
Yes.
said my favorite redhead.
My favorite Reddit. And then, yeah, like his mom recently returned. I guess she found pictures of me from high school under his bed. And so she recently returned those to my mom.
What were they of?
They were just, no, they weren't bad. They were just like.
I don't think bad. I just meant like,
Well, some were like
or,
some were my senior pictures, some were just pictures
Yeah.
we took throughout the year, like, or whatever. But she like returned these. She's like, well, Graham's obviously not going to enjoy them. I didn't want to just put them in his things if y'all could enjoy them. Like, it was very sweet the way she did it. But, yeah, it was just a weird interaction and I didn't love it. And then I immediately, you know what's weird? As soon as he said that they were having a baby, I immediately remembered the name we had picked out.
What was it?
If we had a boy, we wanted to name it Asher, and I don't know why. And I don't even love that name. Not now. We just thought it was so cute. We had like read a book together or something and liked it. And I was like, oh, Asher's cute for a boy.
Do you want to know?
I mean, it kind of would be cute if the guy was like super hot.
Yeah.
What is she doing?
Daidrie, what are you doing?
She's eating cereal out of a cup.
Okay, can you? Okay, can you wrap it up and go in your room, please?
We're done in 30 minutes.
I'm hearing shaking and like just thank you.
She keeps like peeking her head over the banister.
I know
at
how
me,
to
and it's
turn it. The
making me
camera's all
giggle.
weird. Like I'm now staring at the corner ceiling.
Anyways, but yeah, it was just a weird exchange. That is one thing that I used to hate about visiting my hometown, though, is I would run into everyone I graduated with.
Yeah.
And now I kind of don't mind it.
Yeah, I'm from here, and there's sometimes some people that I don't like to run into.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's some people that I absolutely don't mind, and it's
Yeah.
nice too, you know. So it just depends. It's like I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Well, and there's so many people here.
Right. I mean, it's in circles.
mean,
Rockwall's
it's
still
growing.
Rockwall's still the smallest county. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, but small town feelings. Silver Springs is definitely smaller feeling like that.
Yeah.
If people are moving back into it, I'm sure. But
Oh, yeah, but there's still so many people that I'm like, I have no idea.
but there's only so many places in Rockwall that certain people hang out at that, so it still feels small.
like small town.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that's all right, but I don't care enough.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, oh, it's nice to see you.
I know. I definitely have to be in the mood. I mean, most of the time I just don't make eye contact.
And if I'm going to those places, I know there's a higher probability of it. You know.
Yeah, like Walmart. I know if
My
I go to
grocery
Walmart
store.
there, I'm going to run into like at the town.
Oh man.
Or there's this place called Juan Pablo's that everybody eats. It's like the Mexican food place.
Ooh. Is it good?
So it's good. You know what it is? It's like tamales in Greenville. It used to be tamales, anyways. But you're definitely gonna run into people there.
Yeah. Speaking of tamales and salsa and spicy foods, right before we started recording, Day went out into my garden, and
I was impressed.
picked some plants, some vegetables.
She's got some compost going. She's got some good looking little tomatoes and peppers. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna take some of these home.
Well, I've been making some of that okra and all the stuff, my veggies, and I told her I have so many tomatoes and I have so much basil and I have so many jalapenos that I was like, I'm either gonna make some Italian like salsa because I'm over pickling. So now I'm gonna start like either roasting some tomatoes or making some stuff. And so I told her, I was like, I think I'm gonna make a bunch of salsa. And then she gave me the brilliant idea. She's like, you should get that out as Christmas gifts.
Yeah,
So
I would be so pumped to get some kind of
You're going to now.
preserves,
yeah.
or salsas. Like,
Yeah.
that is the best gift.
I was not making a pesto also because I have that basil is huge. I would have to make like a pesto.
With garlic and all that.
Yeah, I made the best caprese salad the other day with a basil and those tomatoes for Lindsay with little small cheese.
That's cute.
And balsamic and
It's my favorite.
Oil. That's why I think I feel so comfortable and close, with Lindsay also for the same reason, like your hometown. She gives me that because we've been friends since I was a kid. We went to church together. And so I think that there is something about having that comfort, that safety, So.
Oh, yeah. It's just comforting having those people that have literally known you since you were.
Well, there's something about, like you said, your inner self, your inner child that feels.
Well, they were like around you when you still had like your innocence. And it's like before you went through all your heartache and shit. And so it's like there's a side of you.
It feels healing.
Yes. Like I just remember being so goofy with them and we didn't care what anybody thinks. And it's almost like when I'm with them, it reverts back to that. Like we just kind of giggle and talk to each other. And it's like everybody else in the room's not even around. It just is like been refreshing.
Yeah.
And I've been doing CrossFit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know. So maybe that's been helping with my mood.
CrossFit and good moods. Well, I think that's kind of like what you were telling me whenever you said that me and like you, I think you ended up naming a total of 7, but you said that your people, and you did name Kristen as one of them, but you said me, Kristen, Marcus, not Jill.
Don't say that.
No, you said it on air. You can cut it.
Oh, you mean that I've been the goofiest?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking about me. Like I said, the goofy.
Yeah,
goofy
there's
side.
only a handful of people that have seen the goofy side of me.
Right. So that's what I was meaning. That it's nice to have those people around.
Yeah.
And
you can just.
Oh, I'm glad I'm still on that list.
She's on there. She didn't know baby Daidrie, but
I feel like I bring it out of. Yeah, but I'm saying that I feel like we bring it out of each other. That I feel the same part of me tapped into that I get from being around some of those childhood friends and people, because I feel like y'all know my inner self.
Yeah.
So
like they know your character.
Yeah, I know. Like I know
you are as a person. Like I could literally tell them the worst thing I've done, and they'd be like, "It's fine." Like, you know what I mean? Like we know you, and we know you didn't mean it. Like, it's just good to have those kind of peeps. Some people don't have that, so. Because I mean, outside of family, that is your.
Do you feel like you have that with me?
Yeah. What do you mean? In what way? Which part?
All of it.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just teasing me.
Yeah, of course.
100.
Oh,
golly. So, honestly,
neither one of us are dating currently.
No. I'm so over. I told Steph
I know.
the other day that I think I'm asexual.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm becoming it.
Right now, you may be in that asexual era. We're gonna be like a Taylor Swift era.
Yeah,
you're in an asexual era.
Asexual,
and I think it's because
I'm so turned off that the switch is off.
Because these men out here, we're dealing with bottom feeders.
Y'all have turned me off so much.
It's terrible.
That I am the knob. Like it's not like the volume's turned down.
Low.
I heard it click. I heard it click.
I'm the same way. Even on the dating apps, which there are some very sweet men on there that say some of the nicest things. And that's all, like, compliments are appreciated. But at the same time, like, just looking through, I'm just like, no. Nobody's doing it for me.
I can't even do that. I can't do the apps.
Oh, I've paused. I've, like, gotten to where I pause it because I'm like, this has to be a joke at this point.
The men who assume so much about females, like the ones that just assume that maybe we're doing it right now. We're assuming that all men are the same, but ultimately,
I don't assume all men are the same. I know they aren't. I just like you said earlier, like we will be having a normal conversation with a man.
100% normal.
And it does not matter. We could be talking about toe cheese and they're somehow gonna turn it into a sexual thing. And I don't get it.
In case you're curious, Why?
I don't know. I just feel like toe cheese was like the worst of the worst thing.
I'm not curious. I don't want to know.
People be like, what you know about toe cheese, girl?
Tell me about it.
Nothing. I know that I don't want to know. Like,
I don't want to know what's going on with your toes.
but it is. That's like the perfect example. It could be like the most random topic that you're just having a normal conversation about, and they're somehow going to turn it sexual. And it's like, no.
I'm so turned off by it that
Like,
it's
that's
like
more. That's pushing me away further.
the fact that you need to work that into every conversation.
It must be where they're at in their menstruation.
Is it in the morning
In their menstruation.
when their testosterone is the highest?
I don't know. What's been happening in the evening?
I don't know. I gotta.
And it's an all day occurrence. If
I
we're being
literally
honest,
don't even feel bad not responding anymore. Like there's so many, and they're nice, but like they send me something stupid. I just look at it and I go, stupid. That's dumb. You're dumb. And then I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah,
and then I don't respond. And then you know what? They pop back up. Hey, how are things going? How's your day?
I know. It's the worst. You're not telling me anything.
I don't care.
I feel like all I've been hanging out with lately are married couples.
Oh, that's also.
I know. I mean, I'm okay with it because they're like
I
married
like
couples
safe,
to where
but
they're
it's also not
chill.
great. Yeah.
You know, they're kind of like Jamie and her husband, where
love them.
I love them both. So I'm okay with hanging out with both of you because I know it's just not going to get weird. But at the same time, I'm like, I've really got to find somebody.
Right.
Or there at least needs to be another single person here. Because this is getting...
It's too much.
Yeah, it is.
It's like do less.
I know. I definitely don't feel left out, though.
Yeah, no. And I have certain married couples that I love third wheeling with. Like, y'all are my favorite.
I'm
y'all
like,
want to
I'll be a sister wife at this point.
Yeah.
That's how I'm with Kelsey and her husband.
Honestly,
all my friends and their husbands, I'm basically the second.
Because it's so annoying that the single men, it doesn't matter if they are balding, if they are divorced,
If they have ED.
if they have 3 kids, if they're
just fucking grouchy all the time. I don't know.
grandpas.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much.
It is too much.
And it's annoying. And it's like you said, it pushes me further and further.
It
the
does.
fact that that's what you want to
Like read and that's the thing with men though. They don't know how to read a room.
Yeah. You know what? If you genuinely wanted to have a conversation with me beyond the basics, if you think that another person has possibly asked me that question for the day, don't ask it. Don't ask me the question. Tell me something different. Like when you texted the guy and you're like, I want to see your view. That's something different. Not many people.
My penis.
He was dumb.
I know.
It's like, that's an interesting take, on your day. I would love that. But
that's the difference between where our minds usually are and where theirs usually is.
But I'm more likely to get turned on or want to by somebody that I can banter and have a good conversation with, or feel like you were just talking about. Like if you make me feel where I can conversate with you and joke with you, and it not have to be intoxicated or alcohol induced, and it's not sex based, then guess what? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be that part. It's gonna be that much.
Maybe
better.
that's what Boat Captain was feeling towards me.
Because you were being all horned up.
I was being the horned up one.
I've been the horned up one before.
And I'm sorry, but who would shut this down? I'm just kidding. Not me. Well, I was like, Jesus, he really does not want anything to do with me.
I've been told,
even though
that I make them feel like a piece of meat.
I mean, I didn't do that, but I mean,
you would.
I have done that.
Yeah. But here's the thing with men. I don't want to feel that way. If you treat me like I'm, like you don't, I don't know, like you. It's just so. Ugh.
She's in her asexual era. Sums it up.
The last sexual encounter that I had, it just flipped a switch. He left.
It'll
and
do it.
I go,
Same.
You know what?
Same,
Done.
sister.
Done.
We've had the same feeling. I was like, oh, I really thought I wanted this again. False.
Nah.
Don't want this. I do not. And I don't. And I think it's because I'm entering my next phase of life where I don't want the casual anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of the point that I was trying to make like an hour ago. And and I was talking about like seeing him and it being awkward. But I was going to say also, not that like you think you're missing out on him or missing. I know you want the baby, but also I feel like you wouldn't be so happy and you're in a different place that if you could trade places with that life and situation right now, I don't think that would be fulfilling for you on where you're at.
Not at all.
So
I would be very bored.
right. So what I think is like, I know all in due time. That's what I wanted to say. Cause I think we can put this there, but I didn't want to leave that open. Like I was like, damn, wish you wanted that, not him. But definitely just saying, I think you're a lot happier in your situation, and then you realize comparatively, and the rest of it will come because you're.
I mean, if I think about it,
yeah, because you're not rushing, you're not forcing it.
No, I'm not forcing it. Do I wish I was in a different place in my life at this point? Absolutely. Did I expect what happened last year to happen? No, but that's just proof this shit does happen.
Yeah.
And you have zero control over it. Zero. Well, it doesn't matter how many plans you make for your life.
Usually whenever you accept where you are in life, and you accept the discomfort and you just redirect your focus, that's when things change. Yeah. That's when your life changes. That's when that season ends. The season of discomfort. That's why, like what I was mentioning for my own life, it's like, I know this is uncomfortable. I know it will get better. I'm just uncomfortable right now. And I also realize I have to make peace with it so that I can change it.
Yeah.
And so that it can change without me trying to force that.
Well, and there's no need to get worked up or stress over something you have no control over.
Exactly.
At this point.
You may as well accept it.
Just lay down and take it.
Kind of like periods.
Yeah.
Because do you want to know how many periods on average a woman has in her lifetime? Or how many years she bleeds?
How many?
About 40 years, which is like 580 periods.
That's a lot.
I think. It's too many?
It's way too many.
We don't die.
We don't die.
We just
We're
get
like
stronger.
roaches.
Ew. Well, that last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was.
It was 2 weeks ago
because
we've just had a lot of the stuff going on.
God, well, and then we got COVID.
Oh, yeah, Lauren got COVID in her household.
And you know what? Let me tell you, when that doctor came in and said that, well, she's got
add
COVID.
to the fire.
I was like, it felt like I had a flashback of like the pandemic, it was like a PTSD moment. I literally, when he said, she tested positive for COVID, and what flash, you know what I saw? I remember driving through the lanes with the people wearing the suits and the masks and the swabbing of the nose and the school being closed, and you couldn't go to the grocery store with more than one person. Like, it became this, like, I saw that.
Such a crazy. I feel like that whole time of our life is a blur. It did happen, and it's such a blur to me. And I was by myself most of the time.
You shut it out. And then, I was too, and with the kids. They were little. I was going insane.
I mean, how long did that go on?
A year?
No.
9 months. Yeah.
We basically had a 9-month weekend. A 9-month-long weekend. I couldn't even tell you what I was doing at that time.
I can't, and it was terrible. I don't want to think about it. But when he said that to me, I looked at him and I was like, oh, what happens now? Like, because it's so.
Does this mean we have to stay home?
Yeah. Quarantine, is that how you say it?
Time for puzzling.
Walked out and grabbed some masks. I was like, all right, guess we need these. Like,
again. I got rid of all my cute fabric ones.
Yeah. I mean, we had some. But anyway, yeah, because of that, we really didn't go anywhere. I know that it's pretty much everywhere, and it's a very mild strain of it. And I think I didn't feel good for a day. But my kid, she just had this cough, and and it's in the beginning I hadn't felt like I was gonna die. This time it was like nothing more than like a little cold.
A little cold, yeah.
I mean, she had it worse, and it does affect people differently.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why, and thankfully, I think my oldest daughter had it most recently, about a year and a half ago, and she must still have antibodies because she didn't get sick, and she always usually would. So,
and it just depends on the strain,
Right.
It's craziness.
But because of that, we were the responsible, and we didn't go out into venture into the world, and
which is why we're 2 weeks out on this podcast episode.
Yep.
That's okay, though.
But our last episode, we talked about menstruation. Irritable male syndrome.
IMS.
And this week, we want to talk about PMS.
Yep.
And
menstruation,
but with the women.
Yep.
One of the things that I did not realize when I found this article, we'll definitely, like always, put the link out there, but on our info tab for the episode. And if y'all haven't gone and rated us lately, please do that. Go give us those 5 stars.
Rate and review.
But I learned a lot. And did you know that there were 4 phases?
I knew there was different phases, but I don't guess I knew there was that. I really probably thought there was only 2.
I thought there were 3. I knew like your period was 1, ovulation was the 2nd, and then I thought the rest of the time was just the 3rd.
The build up.
Yeah, like the build up.
To the shit.
I thought it was like
the other 2 weeks of feeling like shit.
I was like, oh, okay, that's what that is. Because that's like when your body says, oh, you can't really get pregnant anymore. We're going to start preparing for your period.
Yeah, we're going to start bloating you up and giving you gas and constipating you and giving you pimples so you can get ready for the next cycle.
Right.
Love that.
Yeah. So I thought since you're on phase 1 and I'm on phase 2, we should try that.
So basically, phase 1 of our period is our menstrual cycle, which is when the bleeding starts. And I did find this interesting because I've heard a personal trainer talking about this before, where he tailors his training schedule with his female clients based on their cycle. Because during this time, they recommend do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Because your body is going through so much at this time. It's saying your energy's at the lowest in your cycle. You feel tired, withdrawn. You may rest more than usual. And I did notice last week, because I've been doing CrossFit and it's more of an intensive workout. I think I texted Lauren and I was like, I felt like a 300-pound human today, trying to do a burpee and get my body off of the ground.
God.
And now I know why, because I was feeling so sluggish leading up to this, which sucks.
Yep.
But it says the best steps to take during this time is to basically clear your social calendar and relax and allow your body to rest. So next time y'all are menstruating and you're beating yourself up for having no energy and not wanting to do that workout or make that meal or go to that party, give yourself some grace. Just say no.
Yeah.
Honestly, give that excuse. Sorry, I can't. I'm on my period.
I think it should be normalized.
It's not. It freaks people out. So they'll probably just go, okay.
Do they?
They're not going to fight you on it.
I can't come. I have my period.
Sorry, I'm on my period. What's funny is my friend, my good friend Brooklyn that I used to live with, she gets pretty bad periods. So I do know when she says she's on her period and she can't go, why?
Yeah.
But she would tell people that all the time. I can't come. I just got my period. But she had severe cramps and stuff like that. But I'm like,
yeah. I used to have to do that. This IUD that I have now for the past, it's been about a year now. It's helped a lot.
Yeah.
Do you remember how bad my periods used to be?
No. Were they bad?
Yeah, we've talked about how long I would bleed and how heavy. It was just it was awful. I had the copper IUD.
Oh, yes. That copper one hits different.
Yeah. And so switching it has definitely.
It does. It helps.
So much.
Because it basically, because I just got that one out. The one you just got, where it was similar. Because I'm on nothing right now. And I can honestly say I have not bled. This is so TMI. Sorry, guys. I have not had periods like this since I started, or since probably 8th grade. But I've been on birth control for so many years.
Well, why is it weird for us to talk about? Because literally every woman, unless you are some type of like strong contraceptive or you have hit menopause, then, and if you haven't had your period yet, you shouldn't be listening. Then aside from that, like everyone has one.
They do.
Every female, I don't think there's a female that has ever not had a period.
I mean, if they do, they can't conceive. So bless your hearts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, I would think even like guys that are.
They at least have one.
The guys that have vasectomies, they still come.
I mean, you'd have to have your lady organs.
Maybe it's just a different kind.
Yeah.
I don't ever mean to be insulting. I'm just ignorant. So
ignorance is bliss.
I'm ignorant when it comes to this, I don't know.
That's why we were reading these things, is because it was like, we could always, knowledge is power. The more you know about your body and what phases it's going through while doing this makes you understand. One, it makes us understand and appreciate our bodies for what they're capable of doing.
Right.
And two, it also allows us to make these excuses if we don't want to go to a party.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Sorry, I can't come home on my period.
I've told my dad that before. I'm like, I'm on period. I'm tired. I know. I don't want to.
I did use that excuse quite a bit with my mother this week, only because
you can.
Well, I'm just like, I'm so bloated. I think it's because I'm about to start my period. Like, it was one of those things, because I'm like, I don't think it's because I've been eating anything bad.
Well, the next one is your follicular phase.
We don't even have to say the scientific words. Just tell us where we're at. It's getting ready for
your pituitary glands. The gland releases a hormone, FSH, which stimulates your ovaries to mature. So you're also getting ready to get ready.
You know what this phase is? When you sit down to use the bathroom and that weird, clear,
the sticky stuff,
goo comes out of your vagina.
Yeah.
I follow this influencer, y'all. This is fucking funny. And she gets on. I'm shocked. She has millions of viewers and followers. And she gets on and she goes, ladies, I know y'all know what I'm talking about after you have your period and you sit down to go to the bathroom. And she had a clear, dangly tree ornament. And she said, it looks a little something like this. And she starts swinging it around. And I was like, no. One, yes, I'm very aware of what you're speaking of. And two, why did we need that visual?
I didn't need to see it. Yeah, well, the reason why that happens is because your estrogen and your testosterone start to rise during this phase. So this will bring a boost of energy and can also often improve your mood. So
you should be in the mood to be.
No, because that you're talking about.
You're in phase 2, you said.
Yeah, where you ovulate is where you're all horned up.
No, read it.
No, I am reading it.
It says you get turned on.
Yeah, but you haven't hit peak yet. Peak is when you get pregnant. That's when you're bringing your milkshakes, bringing all the boys to the yard. You may feel a little bit more aggressive, which I told you how I woke up feeling this morning.
She's been a little aggressive.
Men also text stupid things.
So stupid.
So stupid. Like, eventually I'm going to have to respond and tell you how stupid. But I'm not.
Or she won't just respond. Honestly, I've just stopped responding to the people I don't care to have a conversation
I'm not
with.
responding. Your testosterone does stimulate your libido, while estrogen makes you feel more extroverted and suppresses your appetite.
That's why we look really skinny and our tits get perkier during this phase.
I feel like maybe that was last week.
I don't know. It's literally the week after I have my period.
I know. I can't remember when I had my period. I don't think I was
feel
on
like
my period.
I feel the best.
I think I was on my period 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So you're in phase 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. The week after your period is when you're like, oh, I'm not bloated. I'm kind of feeling great. And things are ready to rumble.
Right. Well, it says brainstorming and problem solving will be major strengths during this phase. So initiate new projects and make big decisions. Make use of those social superpowers by speaking up in meetings, join a new social group, and schedule time with friends.
Keyword initiate.
Strenuous exercise will feel increasingly good during this time. So get out and enjoy physical activities that you love.
Phase 2, ladies.
Get it, girl. Yeah, my workout man yesterday, I was moving and it felt real good. And like I was almost done. And
Moving and a grooving.
Yeah, with the trainer goes, she was like, she walked by and she goes, girl, you have not stopped moving. I was like, I've missed it because being sick the week before, I'd not been able to be in there. And I was just.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that. So this weekend I was hanging out with my friend Kristen. We were watching college football, whatever. And our friend Jamie is who I've been going.
You are a football girly.
Only for my Aggies. But my friend Jamie is who I've been going to CrossFit with. And she's like, I talked to Jamie a few days ago when I was getting ready in the morning. And you want to hear what she said about you? And I was like, that bitch, what'd she say? I'm just kidding. I know it wasn't bad. But she was like, Jamie said you're like the Energizer Bunny.
That's a great compliment.
And that you literally like are go at the CrossFit gym and that you're so strong. And I was like, first of all, thank you.
That's amazing.
But second of all, she's the fucking Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
She is my friend that is like, she's been this way since we were little girls. Like there was one time, Lauren, that she came over to spend the night at my house and my mom walked in and we were doing our chores and Jamie was in the bathroom scrubbing the grout with a toothbrush. If that explains who she is as a person.
Wow.
And it wasn't even her house.
Lindsay's like that.
So she's like, she gets up, she wants to go. But it's been such a motivating thing having
it's great
her.
to be around.
Yeah. And she's so cute and fit. She literally is the same size
Jamie's
since high
like
school.
that too.
I'm like, ugh, I want to be the same size as when I was in high school.
No. I've been trying. We'll see.
You Zobug.
I'm going to be 40 and I want to.
She looks so annoyed with us.
She's so annoyed.
Okay, let's talk about phase 3.
Yeah. Hit me. Hit me with
The
your
ovulatory phase.
Ovulation?
Yeah, it's ovulation. Basically, the eggs are being released into your uterus, and this is when it's peak time for you girls to get it in.
And get pregnant.
Yeah. Estrogen and testosterone rise to the peak level, boosting effects of the follicular phase. You may feel like you look better, feel better, more confident, so it'll be easier to verbalize your thoughts and feelings. Plus, your sex drive will be at the highest. So this is week 3. You're kind of feeling good in week 2. And then week 3, you're like, hell yeah, let's get it on.
Yeah, follicular, you're about 7
Marvin
Gaye
Gaye style.
Yeah, 7 to 14 days. This is about 14 to 21.
So this is when you want to be on top, ladies, because you're going to be, I'm so skinny, and my boobs are so perky, and, all the things are happening.
Yeah.
And it says this is a girl. What's funny is it literally takes us to left field and says this is a great time for job interviews and networking.
Go out and meet people, gang.
And public speaking. Schedule a date night with your current beau or ask someone out. Energy level are at the highest.
You just it just sounded like you go, ask someone out.
Ask someone out. Okay.
Okay. What's phase 4?
Phase 4 is coming up.
The first 2 to 3 days of this phase, the luteal.
Luteal? Is that how you say that? Is that how you say that? Do you know?
Yeah, we're rolling with it.
Okay.
We'll feel a lot like the ovulatory phase. That changes when the estrogen and testosterone decline and your body starts producing progesterone. Mm-hmm. So the first 2 to 3 days of this phase is like, it's like the party's wrapping up for ovulation. It's coming to an end, but you're still having a good time.
Yeah.
And about day 3 to 4, you decide
We're only here for a good time, not a long time.
Party's over. The second half of this phase is notoriously difficult for many women.
Why?
You might feel PMS symptoms like cravings for carbohydrate. Well, this would be the last week for you. The last 4 days.
I know.
How have you felt for the last 4 days? Like this?
Yes.
It says you may feel PMS symptoms like cravings for carbohydrate, heavy comfort foods, bloating, breast tenderness, headaches, anxiety, and moodiness. These symptoms are not all in your head, but they aren't something you should have to suffer through either.
Yeah. I haven't been feeling really moody. It's more my body. Like I can tell through my body, like my complexion and what am I getting?
That last piece of paper.
Oh, like my complexion, my like I get bloated, I get constipated. Like it has literally gotten to the point, but it's like weird. It's been like 10 days out, 10 to 8 days out is when I start feeling
Really?
that way. And I'm like, oh. And then when I'm about 4 to 2 days out or when the headaches start. So then I really know it's coming.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think we get about...
I think we were right the first time before we even read this article. Yeah. About 3 days.
About 3 days. There's about 3 to 5 days.
There's about 3 to 5 days that you're going to be feeling.
I don't feel crazy.
Yourself.
Yeah.
And that's it. Sorry, guys.
I didn't
3 to
know
5
that there was 4 phases. It was very insightful, and
Well, I'm going to start using this as an excuse. Sorry, I'm in phase 4 of my cycle.
I'm in phase 3,
and it's just not happening. They'll have to go Google it. What's phase 4?
I have used that I was on my period or that I was cramping with a certain gentleman fellow when he was wanting to hang out.
You have to sometimes.
Like, sorry, I'm on my period.
What's funny though
But
is
I
then you
wasn't.
get those ones that don't care and they're like, "That's fine. That's even better."
And then I told I was like, sorry, I'm on my period. And then like he hit me up like 2 weeks later. I was like, sorry, I'm on my period. And then
It's just a long lasting
no,
one.
and he was like, weren't you on it the last time? I was like, maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think I told you next time be like, "Yeah, I am for life." So just don't contact me again.
Forever bleeding.
Forever bleeding out of the vagine. God, could you imagine?
God, no. Those periods that I had, I hated it. It was awful.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women experience it. And so one of the things that, while we're on the topic of bleeding in your periods, you should pay attention to how much and how frequently, because you shouldn't be miserable. So, if you're doing things like taking some type of pain reliever, heating pad, resting, you're following these action steps and you're still having some type of issue, I mean, I definitely think you should
consult with your doctor.
Yeah.
100%.
There should be something
We
that
don't
you
need to suffer. And honestly, if you can I know there's a lot of people, like even my friend Brooklyn, I don't think she's ever really wanted to take birth control. I'm not really sure. It's not a religious choice. I do have other friends that have chose it because it is more of a religious choice, but I'm like, it's not worth, even if it is religious, it's not worth being miserable.
Well, I didn't take it a lot because I had
fibroid.
Well, no, I just had symptoms whenever I was I got the Depo-Provera shot whenever I was 17, 18 for cramps.
I can't believe you got that.
And I hated it. And it was such an awful experience that it made me so weird about hormonal birth control. Yeah. That's why after the girls, I ended up getting the copper one because it didn't have false hormones. Because I was like, I can't inject something like that into my body and feel that way.
Because you can't, no.
But that's why
you definitely need to find what works for you.
Right.
I started taking the pill in 8th grade, and it was not because I was sexually active. It was because I had horrible periods. Right. Little did we know, I was celiac, which was causing heavy, heavy bleeding because I was eating things I shouldn't have. And so
when
I was
did you get diagnosed with celiac?
I got diagnosed. My doctor didn't come to me and say, "I know what you have," until I was 19.
I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's and my thyroid I was 19 and 20.
Yeah. And so it's it's a total lifestyle change. But even then, I took the pill from 8th grade till I was probably out of college. And then I eventually switched to the IUD, the hormonal IUD, because I was like, I at least want to get off the I didn't want those side effects of like depression and stuff. I wanted it to kind of regulate itself within my uterus. But I do think that helped going from the pill to the IUD to then getting off completely, because it was like a slow wean kind of off birth control, because it wasn't as bad stopping the IUD than it was stopping the pill.
Really?
Because I could not stop bleeding when I stopped the pill. Cold turkey. It was awful. I bled for like 3 months straight.
Wow. Yeah, whenever mine changed, I had really kind of crappy periods in the beginning. I went from the Paragard to the Mirena, and I didn't want to do the Mirena for the same reason. Like I told you, like just the thought of going through those hormonal and all the things that were happening in my body. And just like you said, it was probably because I was on like low Lestrin. I was on a very low dose after the Depo-Provera that I was like, I'm not ever messing with that again. But I had a hard time taking my medicine in the morning because my thyroid medicine that I'm supposed to take, I was supposed to take an empty stomach 1 hour before. So it was like by the time that I'm moving and going, by the time that I'm supposed to take this other pill. So anyway, it just definitely was one of those things that
easier just to have it already in there. And
right. And so, but this one is centralized, and I've had very few side effects, I feel like, overall. But we definitely encourage you guys just to feel normalized with it. And one of the things I did do, I shared it with my teenage and preteen daughters so that they have better understanding. I was like, man, when I first heard these, if I would have had the understanding of how my body was working within my menstrual cycle at a teenage, in my early years of being having one, I think it would have helped so much.
Yeah, because I think we beat ourselves up whenever, like, you don't want to complain and you don't want to whine because your body is kind of like, oh, it's just my period. Like, I think we get so used to just feeling like shit that we then feel guilty whenever we don't want to do the same task and stuff like that. But it's like, you got to give yourself grace on these different phases and cycles because your body is preparing you to have all these feelings and changes. Well, and that's exhausting.
Yeah. My trainers now know when my cycle is. And when I used to do the CrossFit weightlifting, he knew when it was because he would never have me max out. He always had it on my ovulation week, right there in the middle.
Because you feel stronger and have more energy.
Everything is at peak level.
I'm telling you, last week I was like dragging, and I knew. I was like,
So, there's definitely more information out there on the interwebs and books, and I'm sure other podcasts and things, but we think it's really important. I think it's important for men to know when their female partner cycle is. It probably helps them let her sleep if she's grouchy, like,
give her a break.
Yeah, I have a friend that she says she tells her partner, and she's like, listen, my period's about to start, and like, he already knows that she goes like super doesn't feel good, all the things, like, okay, mom's going to shut herself in the back room for several days, and
she's going to crawl into her cave.
Yeah.
She'll come out when you did,
but like, don't mess with her. I was feeling all crazy with the house and stuff not too long ago. I was telling the girls, I was like, listen, I am on my period. I'm feeling stressed and enraged.
I know.
I was like, my fuse is a lot shorter this week. Heads up.
It is. It is those weeks. It's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll definitely try to be a little bit more regular on our recording.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to see my day.
Yes.
And we hope that you guys like our new reel.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all are in for a treat.
We're just going to become TikTok famous, you guys.
Got it.
Just kidding.
No.
We're not naturals at this.
Not good.
But
all right. Bye.
We'll see you next week.